graph of a secant function. In this module, you will learn to find the graph of a secant function from the graph of a cosine function. The function secant theta is the reciprocal function of cosine theta. Hence, the graph of secant theta can be obtained by studying the graph of cosine theta. If you carefully observe the graph shown here, you can see that for every even integral multiple of pi, cosine theta is equal to 1. This indicates that the value of the reciprocal function secant theta is also 1 for every even integral multiple of pi. Next, let us check out the values of the odd integral multiples of pi. From the graph, it is clear that for every odd integral multiple of pi, cosine theta is equal to -1. This indicates that the value of the reciprocal function secant theta is also -1 for every odd integral multiple of pi. You can see that for every odd integral multiple of pi by 2, cosine theta is equal to 0. Thus, the graph of the reciprocal function secant theta is a vertical line called the asymptote for any odd integral multiple of pi by 2. This implies that the reciprocal function secant theta assumes arbitrarily large positive or large negative values for odd integral multiples of pi by 2. As the value of theta increases from 0 to pi by 2, the value of the cosine theta decreases from 1 to 0, indicating that the reciprocal function secant theta increases from 1 to positive infinity in the interval 0 to pi by 2. Now, as the value of theta increases from pi by 2 to pi, the value of the cosine theta decreases from 0 to -1, indicating that the function secant theta increases from negative infinity to -1 in the same interval. Further, as the value of theta increases from pi to 3 pi by 2, the value of the cosine theta increases from -1 to 0, indicating that the function secant theta decreases from -1 to -infinity in the same interval. Similarly, for an interval of 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, the value of cosine theta increases from 0 to 1, indicating that the value of secant theta decreases from positive infinity to 1. Since the cosine function repeats itself with a period of 2 pi, the secant function also repeats its value after a period of 2 pi. Thus, the graph of the function of secant theta indicates that the domain of secant theta is the set of all real numbers except odd integral multiples of pi by 2 and its range is the set of real numbers greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to -1. In this module, you've learned to construct the graph of a secant function from the graph of a cosine function. The domain of secant function is the set of all real numbers except odd integral multiples of pi by 2, and its range is the set of real numbers greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to -1.